so fucked up, bro. Oh,
You're gonna be okay. Just go take a nap together or something.
We were, but then we had to go to the bathroom, bro. Stage 2 is kicking in, bro, like Nitro.
I'm fucking gone, bro. Holy shit. What the fuck, yo? I can take until I can fucking throw up, dude.
Think you got the gimme, yo? This time, bitch.
Yo, this shit's not opening, bro.
Come on, man, I'm about to throw up.
Oh, don't go in here, nigga.
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm fucked up. I took like mad fucking shots of Malibu and I'm fucked. I'm so fucking drunk right now, bro. Yo, I'm fucked up, bro. I can't remember shit. Alright, the first thing I want to make very clear in this video is that I was not an alcoholic and I was not addicted to alcohol. So my first time getting drunk was on October 8th, 2017. And I was over at my friend's house and we were having a bonfire. And I ended up drinking like a full bottle of the Smirnoff Ice stuff. And then I took like a couple shots of Malibu. And I wasn't really drunk and I was more like tipsy. I'm going to show you guys a couple clips throughout this video. But the next morning I didn't really end up with a hangover. I was fine. But that night was pretty fun. That was my first time touching alcohol. So the second time I drank and actually got drunk was on August 25th, 2018. I was with my friend Dakota, Travis, and Logan, and I think a few other people, right? And so we wanted to get drunk, so we ended up going to the gas station and we picked up a whole bunch of Four Locos, which are absolutely disgusting. And we went back to Travis's camper, right? And we were all chilling inside his camper, and I ended up drinking is either 1.5 Four Locos or it was 2 Four Locos I ended up drinking, and I absolutely got plastered. I was gone because that night I was out of it. I was so drunk, and I'll show you guys the video clips like I said. But there's a video clip of me outside of the camper, and I felt like I was gonna throw up.
Yo, this shit's not opening, bro.
Come on, man, I'm about to throw up.
Oh, don't go in here, nigga.
And all I remember that night is that I didn't feel good. I was super drunk, and I just ended up blacking out. And then the next morning I ended up waking up. And the next day, that morning, I had to go up north to Crown Point or Ticonderoga to have lunch with my grandmother. And so what ended up happening is that I drove home the next day, and we ended up going up north, and we were at the restaurant, right? Everybody ordered their food. By the time the food came and it was in front of me, I went to eat, and all of a sudden I just felt super nauseous. I felt sick to my stomach. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I had a massive headache, and I ended up just telling my mom that I didn't feel good because I didn't want to tell her that I was drinking the previous night and that I had a hangover. And so what did I do? I told her that I didn't feel good, and so I walked across the street. There's a gas station, and I think I bought some ibuprofen or something to try to make the headache go away. And it wasn't that bad, but it was just embarrassing because trying to have lunch with family and you have a hangover and you don't want anybody to know. When I drank with my friends, it was very inconsistent. Many months or even years would go by with me even touching alcohol. I really wasn't a big drinker at all. I didn't like hard liquor. I was more of like a girly drink kind of drinker with like the mixed drinks, Malibu, Smirnoff Ice, Seagrams, Mike's Hard. You guys get the point. Stuff that was not really that strong, and I really did not like the taste of anything else but mixed drinks. The hard liquor, the beer, I did not like that whatsoever. So the third time I got drunk was on my 21st birthday, June 16th, 2020. And that night, I had a couple of my friends over. It was my brother, my friend Tyler, my friend Henry, and his brother Alfie. And so we had a bonfire going, and I ended up drinking a half a bottle of Malibu and a couple of Seagrams. And I wasn't really that drunk. I was more like tipsy, like super tipsy, because all I remember was like I was super laughable. I was laughing at everything. I was being goofy, and it was just a fun night. I didn't really get a hangover the next day, but like I said, I'll show you guys the clips. This one clip, I ended up, my brother had to like carry me inside because I was just like super out of it. I was just super tipsy, and I couldn't walk straight. And so I have a video, and it was just the end of the night. And the next morning, I was fine. I had no hangover. but that was just my 21st birthday. Alright, the fourth and final time I got drunk. This was probably the worst of them all. January 23rd, 2021. That evening, or that day, I went to Walmart and I had bought in film stuff for my apartment. I wanted to have like a little film set in my apartment. So I went out and I bought a backdrop and I bought a couple of ring lights, right? Those ring lights. And so I went back to my apartment and I was filming a YouTube video that night, and it was like crazy photography stories, a new sequence I was gonna do on my YouTube channel, right? And so I filmed the video, and that entire night my buddy Tyler kept on begging me to come over to his house. Jake, come over, just hang out, come drink with us. I was like, no, I don't want to drink. At that point, like, I didn't really want to drink anymore because, like I said, I wasn't really into it. I didn't really like drinking. I didn't really like all the alcohol. I didn't like the taste of it. I wasn't really with the whole thing, right? He kept on bugging me, Jake, come over. I was like, no, 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 no. So I ended up filming my video, and then I sat down. I was going to edit it. Maybe like 10 or 15 minutes to me trying to edit my video. This kid keeps texting me, Jake, come on, come over, come hang out with us, come drink with us. I was like, fine. Like, I finally caved in, and then I was like, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to drink at all, right? And I was like, I'll go have fun with the boys for a little bit, you know what I mean? Just go and have a good time. So I drive over to Tyler's house, right? And I go inside, and they're setting up beer pong in the kitchen, right? And they're like, come hang out with us, come play. And I was like, no, no, bro. Like, I'll play beer pong, but I'm not drinking. Like, you guys can drink my drinks, okay? So they were playing beer pong with Four Locos, and somehow I got dragged into drinking some of the cups of the Four Locos, and that was not good because that started a streak that went throughout the entire night. So I drank a couple cups of Four Locos. They were like half filled, but I drank a couple cups, and I was like, no, these are absolutely disgusting. And so then that started the streak, and I started to drink. And that night I got so drunk. I started drinking. I drank the Four Locos. I drank more Malibu. I think I drank another half a bottle of Malibu. I drank the little shots that you guys can get, like the little shots of whatever they had, Fireball, Malibu, Smirnoff, you name it, the little shots, I drank it. And at one point during the night, I was like standing up and I could not see straight. I was looking straight at all the people in the room, and I could not see anything. It was blurry, and it was like the first time that I ever seen something in real life blurry. Like, I always say, like, oh, when you get drunk, you can't see straight or you see blurry. That was me. Everything looked blurry. It looked like I had a pair of goggles on. Everything was blurry. And I ended up laying down on the ground on the carpet, and I think I just blacked out. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and I just threw up. I just opened my mouth. I was so drunk. I didn't even have no control over my body. I just, and I just opened my mouth and puked everywhere, and I just laid in it. I was actually wearing this jacket. Surprisingly, that's funny that I'm wearing this today. And I was just so drunk, I ended up throwing up on the carpet and just laying down. I just opened my mouth and puked. And then I hear the vacuum going, like, I'm just out of it. I'm completely blacked out, and I hear the vacuum going. I'm just laying there drunk, and I'm like, oh, that's gross. So I blacked out. My buddy's I can hear the vacuum, but I'm just drunk, right? I hear the vacuum, and so a couple hours go by, and I think I woke up in the middle of the night. It's probably like 3 a.m., and I went to the bathroom, and I had to take a piss, right? So I took a piss, and I was in the bathroom, and I called an Uber. It was like 3 in the morning. I called an Uber to bring me home because I did not feel good. I had a huge hangover. I did not feel good, right? And so I get the Uber drives me home. I go straight to bed. I go home, and I go straight to bed. I was so exhausted. I did not feel good. The next morning, I was like, all right, I'm going to try to get in the shower, and I'm going to try to make myself feel a little bit better. That was like the worst case scenario. Don't do anything like that. I get in the shower to try to sober myself up, and what ends up happening? I ended up throwing up in the shower, and I was like, oh, I had like the worst hangover ever. I drank so much that night. It was terrible. And what really sucks is that I told myself that I was not going to drink. I told myself I was not going to drink. And what did I end up doing? I drank. And it was probably the worst mistake of my entire life because that was the absolute worst night of my life. And the next day, I had the worst hangover. And ever since then, I stopped drinking. I have not had alcohol since then, no matter what. None. Zero. No alcohol. That was my last time. and I am so thankful that I have not had alcohol since that day. So, it's been about 3 years since I've touched any alcohol, and I can say it has been the best decision of my entire life. I do not miss it whatsoever. Alcohol is very dangerous and is nothing to mess around with. Be very careful if you choose to drink, and even at a young age, if you want to be a little savage and want to drink early, just be careful. I highly recommend not to mess around with it because it's just not healthy at all, and it's just not a good route. You get one life. You get one life. Take care of your body, man. Take care of your body. Drinking alcohol, it does a lot of damage to your lungs. It does a lot of damage to when you age. Do you want to look young forever? I do. I look super young. I don't even look at my age. I'm 24 years old, and people think I'm 17. That's why I take care of myself. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I don't do any of that stuff. So I highly advise you to be smart and to not drink and not to do any drugs. Alright, so some of you old heads might know what this term means, but the term straight edge, I love that term because it means no alcohol use and no drug use. And so a couple months ago, I got the great idea to get the straight edge symbol tattooed on myself. It's just an X, but if you guys can see this, I got a big black X tattooed on my wrist. And every time I remind myself to not drink, I look at that. Or it reminds me to not drink and not do anything. Not that I have an urge, but I just got that tattooed myself to verify that I do not drink and I do not do any drugs.